One of the most commonly asked questions I get is how do I use Tailwind for my Pinterest? And if you've never heard of Tailwind before, it's the only Pinterest approved scheduling tool that you can use to schedule pins and grow your Pinterest. It's really easy to navigate once you get the hang of it. I know a lot of people are often intimidated by it at first glance, but once you get used to it, it's really easy to use. So this is what it looks like whenever I log into my Tailwind account. It actually takes me to this home weekly summary page, but we're just going to start here over in the publisher page so that I can show you how to upload a draft and schedule it to be uploaded to your Pinterest. So the first thing that you'll want to do when you register for a new Tailwind account is you want to install the extension to your browser. I'm using Chrome and the extension's actually already installed on my browser, but this is going to help you schedule anything to your Tailwind account even without being in Tailwind. So if you're on a website or if you're on your blog page, you can just hover over the image that you want to schedule into Tailwind, and then it will open up a new browser window and you can immediately schedule that to your Tailwind account. So I'm not going to get into how to do that because Tailwind walks you through the steps and it's really, really easy to do. So what I am going to show you next is how to upload a pin to Tailwind. So when you do that, you have a couple of options. You can go over here to create a new pin, or you can simply drag and drop your image right here and it will do that for you. So I'm just going to show you by going here to create new pin and upload images. I already have an image that I want to use, so I'm going to open that up and it's going to take me to a new window. And then from here, we're going to start adding our descriptions, our boards, and the URL that this is going to take us to. So as long as you've connected your website in your Pinterest account to Tailwind, it will automatically add your website down below here. But I want pinners to go to a specific place on my blog. I don't want them just going to my homepage when they click on the image. So I'm going to change this to a different URL so that it will take them directly to the blog post that this image goes to. And then from there, I'm going to enter my description. Now, I always tell people, and I always do this for my clients, you want to make sure that your description is optimized. And when I say optimized, I really mean that it includes searchable keywords that are going to show up whenever someone enters similar search terms that relate to your image. Okay, so I have my description ready to go. You're going to notice a couple of things. I lead with a question in a lot of my Pinterest descriptions, and then I also offer a call to action here. And this call to action is going to entice pinners to click on my image if they're reading that description. I also have several keywords and hashtags included in this description so that it's more likely to show up when someone searches for something similar within their Pinterest page. So things like Pinterest, Pinterest mistakes, drive more traffic, traffic to your website. And then I have these hashtags down below: website traffic, blog traffic, Pinterest, entrepreneurs, in order to really try and hit my target audience. And then you're going to add all of the boards that you want this image to pin to. So I have all of my boards here, but something to make your life a little bit easier is creating these groups. And you can do that within Tailwind here so that you can just select a group and it will pull up all the boards that might fit this pin. So I'm going to delete some of these boards and then I'll be ready to go. So once I have all the boards that I want to use, I can add this to a tribe. So these are all the tribes that I'm a part of. And then I'll add that to the 4 tribes. And then I'll add it to my queue so that it goes right into my schedule. And then you'll see that pin that I just created is queued up and ready to go. And then all of these that are blank are open slots where pins can be scheduled. So I'm actually going to arrange some of these so these pins aren't all uploading on the same day. And I'm just going to drag them to other time slots so that they're a little bit more spread out. So pins that we're uploading on a Saturday will go out throughout next week. And if you're noticing, if you're newer to Tailwind and you're noticing that you don't have all of these time slots, what you can do is you can go in and add or remove time slots. So I have gone back several times and added additional time slots so that I can get more pins out there at optimal times. And these are all optimal times that Tailwind has figured out for me based on the analytics of my account. So once you have your draft scheduled and you've moved things around, if you want to move them around, you are good to go and there's nothing else that you have to do. If you aren't a member of any tribes yet, you'll definitely want to start joining some tribes. So I'm going to go back over to this left-hand navigation bar and I'm going to click on tribes. And what this will do is this will pull up all the tribes that I'm already a member of, but it's also going to pull up an option to find a tribe. And so I'll show you. With Find a Tribe, you can join a more general tribe or you can join some niche specific tribes. So think about what kind of tribes that you might like to join based on your niche or based on the audience that you're trying to reach within your Pinterest. So they already have some suggested like tribes for you to join, some suggested topics, and then they have some more down here. But if you don't see something that fits your niche, you can start by just searching a particular keyword that you might like to join. So let's just go to beauty bloggers, for example. And then you'll see all these suggested tribes pop up. You want to look for tribes that I personally recommend having at least 100 members or more. And then also take a look at their activity level. If they have a real low activity level and a low member count, avoid joining that tribe. If they have a higher member count and a really high activity count, like this one here, you'll definitely want to request to join that tribe. Sometimes you'll have to add a little bit of a description or answer some questions when you're joining a tribe. Other tribes will just allow you to join immediately. And then once you join that tribe, you can start adding your scheduled pins or your drafted pins to that tribe. Most tribes do have a set of rules that you'll need to follow. So for example, for every pin that you upload, you need to at least share another member's pin. So it's usually a 1-to-1 ratio there. So just keep that in mind whenever you're joining certain tribes, that there will be certain rules that you'll need to be following. It's really not anything to worry about. Just follow the rules and make sure that you're staying active and you'll be fine. So I'm going to go back to my publisher. And then just to take a look back at my scheduled pins, you'll also see that Tailwind is going to suggest some pins for you that you can schedule. So how to grow your blog rapidly in 1 month, that's something that I talk about a lot on my blog and on my Pinterest. So I'm going to add that to one of my boards here, how to grow your blog, and add that to my queue, and then you'll see it pop up in the next available time slot. So another one, the secret to drastically increasing your blog traffic. We'll add that one as well. Keep in mind that you want a really nice balance of pins that you're repinning and pins that you're uploading that you've created. If you have a lot of content on your blog, definitely focus on adding your content to Pinterest and still pinning other people's content. But you want to make sure that if you do have a lot of content, that you're pinning more of your content and less of somebody else's content. If you're brand new and you don't have a ton of content on your blog to pin onto your Pinterest, then start building up your Pinterest first by repinning other people's content and then adding in your own. You just want to make sure that there's a nice balance there and that you are pinning more of your content if you have it available. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. If you have any additional questions on Tailwind, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions.